Thorns fans, I'm Schatz, and so glad you're here on board. There's a bit of a break before Portland's next match in Utah for the NWSL Challenge Cup tournament. So we thought this would be a great opportunity to check in with one of the Thorns players. She's been a huge plus for the club since the very start of this tournament. Welcome, goalkeeper Bella Bixby. Bella, thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, good to be here.
All right, before we get to your journey, and it has been an epic one, let's talk about this 8-team bubble tournament. If I'm not mistaken, you and your teammates have been in the Salt Lake area for about 2 weeks now. Is that about right?
Yep, 2 weeks today.
Okay. All right. What's the environment been like being in a bubble? Give us an idea of what a typical day looks like for Bella Bixby and the Portland Thorns.
Sure. It's definitely a bubble. That's for sure. We're all the teams are split up on different floors. Limited interaction between teams.
Of a hotel?
Yep.
Okay.
So just Thorns on our floor. Obviously I'm in a room by myself, so I don't have a roommate. Just minimizing contacts as much as we can. We obviously have team events every day. We have training, lifts, meetings, things like that. And then in between is our personal free time. And
Okay.
we've got a common room set up for just our team. We call it the lounge. And our sponsors have set up, ping pong tables for us, puzzles, cornhole, projector, all those kinds of things. So the lounge is really like where the party's at. Yeah, we've got like a little snack room, obviously some essentials, like a treatment area and all that. But yeah, our free time is really truly ours. I can speak on my behalf. I've been spending a lot of time reading, watching Netflix. We could leave the hotel when we want, but we can't really leave the vicinity of the hotel too much. So I'm sure some of us are starting to get a little stir crazy 2 weeks in. Utah's beautiful and we can't go out and explore it too much, but yeah, when you say it's a bubble, it truly is a bubble. We see each other day in, day out, and that's it.
Oh my God, it's like Hotel California, that song by the Eagles.
Good
thing you guys all get along so well. This
Yeah.
ping pong table and cornhole deal. Come on, there's got to be some tournaments going on. There's got to be somebody who's a queen of the ping pong tournaments or whatever, the cornhole champ. What's going on with that?
Yeah, ping pong's definitely been the game here. Personally, I'm not involved. I'm really bad at ping pong. Never really played much. We've got a couple people in the team that are really competitive at ping pong.
Like
Britt
who?
Eckerstrom.
Like who? Spill the
Britt
beans.
Eckerstrom.
Okay.
Kath Reynolds. Pierre, our athletic trainer, is
Okay.
also super competitive. I know Mark gets a few games in. Kayla Knapp gets a few games in. So it's a good mix of players and staff that enjoy the ping pong. And every now and then I know that they're just going at it down there. So it never stops. I know that a little fun fact is that Britt, I think last season, got Kath like a professional level paddle, and she brought it here. So ping pong's always been a part of our team activities and definitely still is in the bubble.
So Kat Reynolds has her own top shelf grade A ping pong paddle, and she brings it with her.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh. Well, I would hope she'd be good then. I wonder if she's got a table at home. We'll figure that out. And now there's an espresso truck near the. Is it right outside the stadium where you guys can get your coffee fix, or where's the espresso truck?
Yeah, there's a coffee truck that pulls up at the stadium.
Okay.
So we can get our coffee fix before or after training. At the hotel here, I can't speak for other teams, but our team's got pretty awesome coffee setups. Everyone kind of brought their own machines. I know one person shipped in an espresso. We've got pot coffee, French press. So just kind of sharing those things. We've all been able to kind of get our coffee. Certainly all of us living in Portland, we miss that aspect a little bit. But having a coffee truck at the stadium's been awesome.
Okay, the empty stadium reality. Obviously no fans. You're 3 matches in, you and the Thorns. I hate to use the word normal, but does it feel a little less jolting without fans there and that big, empty, cavernous stadium?
Yeah, I think at first it was a little shocking. I mean, certainly it was my first game in America. and I kind of know what the expectation is just from going to Portland games and being a part of the club for the last 2 years. So it was a little weird at first. It is kind of starting to feel normal. Lets us communicate a lot better on the field when there's not 20,000 people screaming, which is definitely an added bonus. I know other teams are certainly thrilled to be playing against us without the Riveters behind us. But yeah, we've definitely just been adjusting to the whole situation, the bubble, the lack of fans, the new protocol that we've just been adjusting. It's starting to become normal.
And so far, so good.
Yeah.
You know, with regular testing and obviously temperatures being taken, knock on wood, so far, so good.
Yeah, so far, so good. I think everyone's been doing a really good job following protocols and rules. Okay. You know, just being mindful of limiting contact, wearing masks, washing hands, all that is going to be crucial in keeping everyone safe.
Okay. Now let's get to your story a little bit. You've been a massive story of this tournament, and not only with the Thorns, but all around the league, as you have just been stellar between the pipes. So a quick background check in terms of this tournament. You started all 3 games for Portland. You registered a clean sheet against Chicago, massive saves against Carolina in that opening game. People are still talking about that world-class save against Hatch against the Spirit last time out. Tell us about this new experience with the club. Your first ever match minutes wearing a Portland Thorns uniform coming at this tournament. Help us understand the feelings going into that first match and up and through the matches at this point.
Yeah, I think a lot of my effort and energy has gone into being consistent both in my performance and kind of where my head's at, if that makes sense. So obviously a lot of nerves going into that first game, especially against arguably one of our biggest rivals in the league. And, you know, having some big saves right in the beginning, trying not to ride that high too high, just so that I can stay in the game and have a clear head. And also if I make a mistake or make a not so clean save, not letting that dictate my performance moving forward either. So just kind of trying to stay where I'm at in terms of my nerves and my confidence as well has been crucial for me so that I can have consistent performances. Certainly I feel like I've made some good saves and had 3 good performances, but after each of those performances, you know, we break it down, me, Nadine, and Britt break it down and really dive into the details to see what could be done better. So that helps me in the next games moving forward, because I mean, if you're not a goalkeeper and you haven't been in our unit at Portland, we tend to nitpick and we want everything to be perfect. So as much as people maybe think that I'm making a good save, there's a very good chance I'm out of position or I was doing, you know, something was a little off that we need to tweak. So just fixing those little mistakes, those little technical mistakes, so that we can continue to grow in this tournament and not just take it game by game, but truly grow and get better in this short amount of time. How would you grade yourself right now? Give yourself an A, a B? A B.
How come a B and not an A?
I feel like I've been managing the tactical aspects of the game pretty well in terms of like my decision making on the ball, okay. But definitely just little technical things, little nuances within our group that we take pride in really nailing and getting 100%. I've been a little bit absent from my game. I could get into those little details. They're going to seem so small that it seems ridiculous, but just stuff like handling and technical execution of something like a dive is really important for us to get right. So little things like that, just to make things look easier.
I like it. You were drafted by the Thorns in 2018. Is that correct? Okay. Yes. After a terrific career at Oregon State, the understudy of A.D. French, Britt Eckerstrom, solid number 2 keeper for the Thorns at the time of you getting drafted. So this is your 3rd year with the club. You're not a rookie. You got some great experience in Israel on loan during the off season, but you weren't getting the minutes yet coming into this season with the Portland Thorns on American soil. What kept you motivated and hungry and grinding every single day, waiting for that chance, knowing it was going to come at some point?
I mean, definitely the support from my other goalkeepers and from Nadine and from Mark, from all my teammates, that ongoing support. Because like you said, this is year 3. And at times I can feel really impatient and want things to just move forward, but that doesn't happen overnight. It takes hours and hours of training and practice and attention to those small details. So I'd say definitely the ongoing support of my teammates and coaches has kind of kept my head in it, but there have definitely been moments, just like any athlete, where I've been frustrated or I've felt like I wasn't performing at my best. And just that ongoing support and communication from my teammates and staff has been tantamount to me building my confidence and feeling like I have a shot, and just continuing to push AD, continuing to push Britt, them continuing to push me. It's a cycle. It's been really important.
Any particular message that you can share with us that you got from a teammate or a coach after one of the 3 matches so far, maybe even especially that Carolina match in which you started for the first time in your career for the Portland Thorns? Any little message you can share with us?
Yeah, I thought that generally speaking, I was told that I performed well, especially in the sense of just making safe, simple decisions with my feet to break their pressure, which has been a big theme for me in this tournament so far and in the other games. So just reinforcing that aspect of my game and using my distribution as a weapon, and not just, lumping it long when just using it thoughtfully and simplistically has been huge.
Okay. Now we're going to go back in the way back machine just a little bit. Portland metro area native, Milwaukee. You went to Putnam High School. I remember you were an awfully big deal at Putnam, not only for soccer, but you were also, and this story makes the rounds, a great kicker for your high school football team. Then you go down the road to Corvallis. So you basically, the home girl stays home, and you were terrific for Oregon State. In 2013, when the Thorns became this club that we know and love in the NWSL, did you go to any of those games back in 2013? Were you ever in the stands watching the Thorns, whether you were late in high school or in college?
Yeah, I remember my first game. I was sitting in the KeyBank Club. I think LeBlanc was in goal. Alex Morgan was with the club still. Very OG. Didn't get as many opportunities once I was in college just because of the distance. Yep. I remember going to a few games with my college teammates, seeing Nadine play. It's been really kind of a crazy experience, seeing the inception of this club, to becoming part of it, and now playing is wild.
Did you ever dream? Did you allow yourself to think, someday it'd be pretty cool to be playing in this stadium with this club in front of these fans? Did you ever even go there?
Certainly I thought about it. I think that I didn't let myself go there too much, just in the sake of being worried about being disappointed if something like that didn't happen. It started to become more real for me when I began training, coming up in the summers during my college career, to train with Nadine, Britt, and AD. If AD was having a recovery day and it was just Britt and they needed another goalkeeper, I was just down the road and I'd drive up in the summers and come train with them on a handful of occasions. And that's when it kind of became more real for me that this could be a possibility in my future. And Mark and Nadine were a huge, huge impact on me wanting to enter the draft. I was very back and forth on whether or not I wanted to do that. I was engaged at the time, and I had never left really Oregon much. I mean, now I've, played in Israel, played in Germany. But at that moment in time, it was really scary at the idea of, entering the draft and possibly being relocated. And so just that confidence from Nadine and Mark to that they wanted me and that they wanted to draft me was huge for me.
I remember
and making that a reality.
I mean, you Anderer, flying in from Germany the day of that draft, making sure that you were the pick. Parsons, Coach Parsons, significant figure at some of your Oregon State games, home matches in Corvallis. It was very clear that they were interested in you, and now look at you, by golly.
Yeah, I mean, ironically, I don't think he was coming to watch me. I think he was coming to watch when Stanford and UCLA were coming to kick our butts, and I had a lot to do. And
you did have a lot to do, and I'm going to say, because I remember he was there many more times than just when those big dogs were in town. I'm on to you. All right, so here you are, Bella Bixby, living the dream. I don't care if it's in the bubble. You're living the dream and getting ready for Monday's match against the Reign. You guys awfully close to that first win of the tournament. That's going to be a massive, massive match for you guys. Agreed?
Big time. Yeah. We need that 3 points, especially against whatever their name is, Tacoma, Seattle, OL.
You just know them as the Reign.
Doesn't matter what their name is. The rivalry is the same, and this is a big game for us. Agreed.
All right, Bella Bixby, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for sharing a little bit of your story. It's been a heck of a journey for you. I think most of us would give you a solid A at this point, but B keeps you hungry. That's good. Good luck to you and the Thorns against the Reign on Monday. And then in the knockout round, thank you so much for being with us, Bella.
Thanks for having me on.
Cheers.
Bye.